So in this video, we're going to see a Harvard professor go in and really humiliate and destroy Donald Trump and his whole mindset when it comes to Harvard University, and the funding of Harvard University. As usual, let's watch the video in full and I'll give you my thoughts towards the end.
Let's talk first this evening to a professor at Harvard Kennedy School and also a former CEO of the civil rights organisation, the NAACP. His name is Cornell William Brooks. Professor, good evening to you. Welcome to Newsnight. Thank you for being with us. Other universities have backed down, not Harvard. Why?
Why? Because Harvard was placed in an extraordinarily difficult position. So in other words, Harvard faced a politically difficult choice, a financially or fiscally consequential choice, as in $9 billion threatened. And yet the choice was made morally simple, morally clear, because the federal government, as in the Trump administration, threatened Harvard with the loss of billions of dollars worth of funding. But not only that, essentially an academic takeover of the university. So in other words, the Trump administration sent a series of demand letters asking that Harvard conduct a poll, a survey of all of its faculty, all of its students, all of its staff, asking them their political views. Are you Democrat? Are you Republican? Are you independent, conservative, or liberal? It also asked that the federal government have a hand in hiring and firing and the promotion of faculty. It also demanded that Harvard essentially turn over all manner of data to the government. What's key here, what's important for your viewers to appreciate, is no university can be a first-class university if it's run by essentially big government. And I would just note this: where you have an administration that is best known for banning books, it is in no position to govern the country's oldest and one of the world's most distinguished universities.
There are a couple of things you didn't mention in that list, Professor. The administration also says it wants more action on anti-Semitism and it wants to promote diversity of intellectual thought. What's wrong with that?
Well, let's be very clear about this. Harvard, like a great many universities and a great many institutions across the country, has and is endeavoring to address all manner of discriminations, most particularly and most prominently anti-Semitism. As a former civil rights lawyer at the United States Justice Department, president and CEO of the NAACP, the largest civil rights organization in this country, and an organization founded by African Americans and Jewish Americans, I take anti-Semitism seriously. So has Harvard. Harvard convened a major commission, major body or task force to review anti-Semitism on the campus. It has changed all manner of policies, instituted new programs, brought students and faculty and staff together to address this problem. So in other words, Harvard has taken significant, substantial steps, and it was on the cusp of issuing a major report, which the government did not wait to see, and the government has not sufficiently investigated. The point being here is the Trump administration is using anti-Semitism to engage in an anti-academic campaign, and in so doing, I want to be very clear, calling into question its own seriousness and sincerity with respect to addressing anti-Semitism. The president of the university, Alan Garber, noted this, that when they issued their demands, they addressed anti-Semitism way down on the list and mentioned all of these proposed reforms and changes at Harvard that have nothing to do with anti-Semitism.
That may be true, Professor. If I may, yeah. I hear what you're saying about the moves, the measures that you have taken to address anti-Semitism, but yet only last month, more than 200 Harvard alumni signed an open letter urging your institution to permanently dissolve the Harvard Undergraduate Palestine Solidarity Committee, accusing it of consistent and unrepentant anti-Semitism. So there are still measures to be taken. Would you accept that?
Well, there are always measures to be taken in terms of addressing discrimination and anti-Semitism. But the question for us is not what more can we do? We can always do more. But the issue is what more can we do and who should do it? Should it be the Trump administration leading the charge on anti-Semitism when they have declined to enforce American civil rights laws? The fact of the matter is, no one thinks that this administration would do a great job of addressing anti-Semitism by micromanaging Harvard University.
Okay.
And I want to be very clear here. As a civil rights lawyer, as someone who deeply, deeply believes in addressing all forms of hate, you don't address hate by violating both laws and the Constitution, which is what this administration is doing.
May I play you this clip? It's from the White House press secretary tonight, Caroline Leavitt. Have a listen, Professor.
They must follow federal law. He also wants to see Harvard apologize, and Harvard should apologize for the egregious anti-Semitism that took place on their college campus against Jewish American students. There were professors who said that he had engaged in discriminatory behavior against Jewish students. Of course, you had the former president of the university saying bullying and harassment depends on the context. You also had an encampment on Harvard Yard that we all saw play out before the cameras. The university failed to impose formal discipline on any students for this anti-Semitic conduct violations, including the occupation of a campus building and the disruption of classes with bullhorns. The president believes Harvard should apologize to its Jewish American students for allowing such egregious behavior.
What do you think of that, Professor? Excuse me.
Here's what I think of this. As someone who's faced discrimination, has a tremendous amount of empathy and concern with respect to Jewish Americans who've suffered anti-Semitism. What I would say here is apologies are important. Taking accountability is at least as important, if not more important. And what I would say here is the president or the president's press secretary has taken a number of events at Harvard, mashed them together to engage in character assassination with respect to this great institution. And let's be very clear here. If you are opposed to anti-Semitism, take your Justice Department and go after people who've engaged in anti-Semitism and who've broken the law. If you're concerned about anti-Semitism, go after those who engage in anti-Semitic behavior within the confines of the law and within the confines of the Constitution. What is not appropriate, what is unjust, what is wrong is to take the real sincere concerns that people have about addressing the world's oldest hate and to use that as essentially a political Trojan horse to carry out your agenda. It's not right, and it does a disservice to people who have truly suffered and who truly endured the harm, the pain of anti-Semitism, discrimination, and hate. And
can I ask, forgive me, I apologise. I've got a couple of quick questions, Professor, if I may, before you leave us. You are the richest university in America. What impact does a freeze of this federal funding have on your institution?
Well, it is potentially devastating.
Why?
Harvard, here's why. Harvard has a significant endowment, but the endowment provides the resources to do a great many things. But we support research with respect to Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, cancer, all manner of illnesses. We send teachers into school. We train people for public service. This is a global university that uses global resources to have a global impact. And so to take away billions of dollars that Harvard, let's be very clear, has earned in terms of federal grants. We have scientists and researchers and scholars who've applied for federal funding. The government deemed them to be qualified. And then based upon the personal prerogative of the president, he suspends this kind of scholarship, this kind of funding. It imperils our mission, and it is profoundly unfair, not just to Harvard, but to the people we serve. I want to be very clear about this. Let's not get distracted by prestige and ivy. Let's focus on work and service, which is what Harvard does. And when you do that, you take note of the literally millions of people around the world who benefit from the scholarship, the research, and the service of Harvard University. And so there's no such thing as being too rich to do the work, too rich to serve, or too rich such that you can waste valuable resources literally in a political fight that need not be fought.
Understood. Final thought, if I may. President Trump, as you know, has taken on parts of the media, the courts. Now it seems higher education is the flashpoint. Where do you believe this is heading?
I believe that it's heading in the direction of American democracy being imperiled. Here's what I mean. If, as we have seen, strong men, autocrats in other parts of the world attack the judiciary, attack colleges and universities, attack journalists, we find that democracy crumbles. Democracy is in peril. It's not about rich Harvard. It's not about protected journalists. It's not about judges on the bench. It's literally about the democracy that we all are civic beneficiaries of. And so the point being here is, as you protect your colleges and universities, as you protect your judges, as we protect journalists like you, we are all made safer. We are healthier civically in terms of democracy. And literally, we are servants, if you will, of a world in need of public service. And so the point being here is this is a serious moment, not only in terms of the life of America, but literally the life of the world, because we are connected. The BBC is connected to the United States. We're connected to the work that you do. And certainly Harvard is connected to the world, and it serves the world literally as a global university.
Thank you very much for talking to our viewers here in the UK and around the world. Cornell William Brooks, thank you.
Look, I don't even need to say too much. It's so good to hear somebody with actual intellect, someone who's intellectual, very well spoken, and that can address what it is that this administration is trying to do when it comes to Harvard University. And it's good to actually see an institution actually stand on their own 2 feet and stand up against the bully in chief in Donald Trump and this ridiculous administration and his stupid press secretary. I'm not even going to say too much more, guys, because you saw it in the video. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below this video. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button if you're brand new to the channel. Turn on the bell notification so you get notified every time we upload a brand new video. And also hit the thumbs up purely for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.